check whether this API you have created, it is going to work or not. REST client we need to create to check whether this is working or not. So go here and search in your extension, this one, REST client to search here, REST, REST client, and click on install. REST client and click on install. REST client and click on install. चेंज हमने काफी दिनों से देखा ही नहीं। फोन पे चाहिए तो मैं भेज दूंगा। चाहिए वैसे क्या? बस में चाहिए तो 10 दिन बस मार्क यार फोन करना ओनली फ्री नो 10,000 फ्री नो एसी लगा दे एसी वो एसी नो डिस्काउंट बात कर में सही है ध्यान हो या तो रिमोट या कौन कौन किसी को लाइक टुडे संडे में मुझे फ्री होता है दिस पे नॉर्मल बस एक्सपीरियंस प्लेस करो ओके सो इंस्टॉलेशन इज डन REST client click on install and let me know installation is done. Okay, let's come now to this folder again where we'll create that file. We will create under the main folder. Okay, so under the REST API folder, create one more file called router.rest router.rest router.rest. Create a file router.rest. Router.rest is the file name. Router.rest will be the file name. Created. Now come to the router.rest and we will try one line like this. Add this line. What is our IP? Our URL is this one. 1122. Just add this URL in your file and then I'll guide you what to do. Okay, written. Now look at here. You will find on the top there is an option called send request. Are you getting this option, send request? Say yes, no. If you are getting the option send request, click on that. You should see something like this in the right side. Once you click on this, you will see in the right side, it will display welcome. Once you click on send, it happens like this. So work for how many people? Error. Anyone got like this? Right side. not for working for Gita, then working for Neha, Chaitra 4 not found. Whoever is facing 4 not found, you have problem in this file, in the my user file. Okay. So let's check this my user file. The router user. I will share these 4 ones. What IP are written below? Port number 1112 or something else. This is the 2 line I shared in the chat. Replace that. For Chaitra, then for who else? 𝕷𝖊𝖆𝖗𝖓𝖗𝖓. Okay, for 𝕷𝖊𝖆𝖗𝖓 is working. Check other also. 500 internal server error. You have problem in this file, API user. Let me send you this code. Replace this. This code I sent in chat. Please replace it and go to the again router.rest and click on send request. This code is sent in chat. Go to the router.rest and click on send request. Okay, then next pending is so the connection is rejected. You have problem in this file. Connection is rejected in this file. Router.get check this file. Router.get also you can check this file. Check out so you have made some problems somewhere. Definitely there will be some mistake, so that's work further for your system error. Where was the error? Node mon stopped. Okay. Now it is working. Okay. Let's see now. Come to that file again. User API. So we will understand one flow. First, we have created one user.js under the models folder as a module. So user become a file that hold the complete structure about a table. A structure about a table like what are the column is required and what is the type. Then after that, we created a file under the router. File name is called user API. Inside that, we imported the express, we imported the router, and finally, what we did is we imported the user from where? From the models folder. We imported users from the model folder. Okay, right? Hello. अभी आ रही है सेकंड फ्लोर में आई का था सेकंड फ्लोर में ठीक है आ रही है ऊपर सेकंड फ्लोर में आ रही है लिफ्ट बस में था हाँ ओके okay next this we created one with the help of router we created one API based on get method where we are just sending one simple request call something. Next this user API we integrated with the my server. Here we created that express setup, then we connected with the database condition we wrote. Finally we imported the user API from the roots. So user.js file you link with the user API. User.js you are linking with the user API, correct? And user API you are linking with the my server. User API you are linking with the my server. There user router is holding the complete where the user API is written and what will be the URL that we have written here. So our component file name user.js user API, but our URL is for the account. This account can be anything. It can be user as well. Okay. Okay, now account we are written here. Instead of account, we can write something else also. Let's change here to the instead of account, change to what will change it? We'll change the API called my user. Okay, here also you modify for reference for my user, and so this my user is nothing but user defined path. Then you will go to the REST API file, and here instead of account, you will keep for my user, and again you will send a request from here. It should work still. It should work here. So the request is able to process. It is giving the same output. Okay, stop working. Let's go next. Create one more API under the REST API file. This is for the saving purpose. So router.post. Inside that, slash will come, comma will come, and next will be called request, comma response. Request, comma response, and then so first we are creating API and testing through the REST client whether it is working or not. Okay. Next, after that, the my user model is called on the top. Let's write here call let new user equal to new space my user, and inside that my user now. So my user, you remember where it's coming from my user? This my user is nothing but you have called here my user. Okay, and this my user where it is written? This my user is available under this one. The user.js file you have written, the model you have created user.js file. In user.js file you have created the model. You see here full name, age, mobile, education, correct? This all we have written and all was required. Remember, right? Now for this full name, age, mobile, and education, we are going to insert the value under this file. Okay, so we will write here full name, exact same variable you can copy from here. This exact same thing you copy and paste here. Okay, and we have to remove this. We have to put the value here something, any type of value we have to give, because earlier we are given the data type and the size. Now we are going to give the value for that. So fixed value we are writing it now. We are going to write some fixed value. Right, we are going to write some fixed value. But again, hold on. While posting the information, correct, post, content type, yeah, exactly. So this will become kind of a, right here. So complete clear first, okay. Full name colon value will come, age colon value will come, mobile colon value will come, and education colon also value will come here. Now in full name where the value will come, if I write here for directly Ganesh, correct. So it will become a Ganesh fixed value. If I write age as 30, then 30 years will be the fixed value. Okay, 30 should not be in double quote. Then mobile number, suppose if I write some number, will become fixed value. If I write here education as a MCA, that also becomes a fixed value. So whenever we add a new user, it will save the same value. It will store the same value. But that we don't want to do. Every time we want to add a new value, whichever the post will happen from the client side. So for that purpose, instead of Ganesh, we'll write here request.body.username. Request.body.username. Here again, request.body.age. Again, request.body.user age. Again here request.body.user edu. So please arrange the code like this. Request.body is nothing but you remember where in the React we have created the API, we have created in the node and we send the data. There also we follow like this. Request.body.message, request.body.particular. So now whenever we call this post method, the username, age, and user mobile. Sorry, this will be user mobile. Okay, user mobile, and this will be user edu. So this 4 input will be compulsory to send whenever we request the post method. Get we have done. So based on get this was coming, it was printing. Now we have to do the post, means add a new record. In that we are not adding the static value. We are going to send the dynamic value. Okay, done till here. Come down below. Right below. Let user status equal to new user dot save. Save is the function of new user dot save. This will add new record in database. To add new record in table. To insert, we can write insert new record in table. Then after that we can write result dot status. Result dot status 201. 201 means you are replying the status. You are going to reply. You are going to give a status to user with the value. With value. When you want to send a status empty, then 200. If you want to reply the status to the front end with some value, so in that case we have to write 200. 201. Dot JSON again. Dot JSON. And inside that we can write here called user status. User status. So we receive the input from user here, and according to user model, inside the user model you can see here full name, age, mobile, education we have, exact in the same format. Using the my user model, we taken the full name, age, mobile, and education. In that, user name will come from front end, age will come from the front end, user mobile will come, user edu will come, and this all value will get assigned here under full name, age, mobile, and education. After writing this code will not work still because we need to add async and await. Okay, async and await will be compulsory to add here. So before the function name, apply here async, and where you are doing the save user, there you have to apply await. So async happen here while calling the function, and await happen while inserting the record. Now this information we will be calling from the REST client, and while calling this URL using the post method, we have to pass the 4 parameter username, age, user mobile, as well as user education. 4 input we have to pass. 4 input will come. It will convert into object. That object will be go to the shape function. Shape function will insert inside the table, and finally after insert, it will return us the user information with ID. It return user details with ID. User details with ID. Once you complete it, you message me once, ping me once. We can move for the next step, and we can do the remaining meaningful work. Now let's come to the next file. I will share this much code also. We'll go to again the REST file. Inside the REST file, just give a space 1, 2, 3 line. Give hash. Again come down and call the same URL. Initial will be post. Below to that, we have to give the information in this format. Username is the first parameter. Second parameter what we have is age, user mobile, user edu. Age, user mobile, age, user mobile, and then user edu. So now this 4 property you are receiving there. See this property you can't write manually anything. Username, you can see here. You are receiving username, first parameter. Second parameter we are receiving age, user mobile, edu. So age, user mobile, and user edu. After receiving this, we are assigning in the different variable in the right side. So right side is the properties that coming from the front end, and the left side is the attribute name, property name that is exist in your table. Full name, age, mobile, education. So left side property must be same as your model file that you have created here. Full name, age, mobile, education. In the model file, we are given the type of attribute, type of column, data type and all. Spelling uppercase, lowercase. You try same in this file here. Okay. And right side is the property that is variable, object name that is coming from the front end. Here, while calling this, you have to give equal space. Okay. First post, my user remains same. Method will change to post. Content type, application JSON. After that, 1 line break and this one. So exact space will be similar. I will share this code. And let us see our database is getting reduced or something else. Oh, hold on. Something else we have to write here. Username Ganesh, age 30, mobile number. What are the data type you have to match? Age is a string, mobile is the number. Okay, so age is a string, we can write 30 years, 30 years, 30 years. User mobile, we can write in the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hello sir, ऐसे में है सब आ रहा है। अभी तो रहेंगे, आप बताइए कितने बजे रहेगा? 1 घंटा, अभी 5:15 हो रहा है ना, 7 बजे तक हम रहेंगे। लोकेशन भेजो। नहीं, कला मंदिर का अगला तीसरा बिल्डिंग, एचडीएफसी और कला मंदिर के बीच में। Okay, so let me share you now this code. So this code is sent in your chat. After that, we'll try sending a request and we'll see whether new record is getting stored or not. Here, we'll send a request. You will get in the right side some information like this. Ganesh, age 30 years, mobile is 1, education, and ID will generate automatically. It represent here 201 created, HTTP 201 created, powered by Express, cross origin allowed, everything. Right? You can see here it is saying like created, and then it's appear like this. Please confirm also what is in your case. When you click on send request, is it saved or not, and this ID got generated or not. After saving the data in table, this ID will generate, and user full name, age, mobile, education with ID will come. So after creating the API, we are testing through the REST client saying like our request is being processed or not. If request is working, then this one as a JSON body and URL you will give to the front end developer saying like you have to post the data in this format. You have to get the data from here in this format. Okay. So for 4 people, record is sending. Let's add 2-3 more record. Then we'll see the fetching part. Change here Mahesh, 35 years. PCA. Again send request. Here ID will be different now. Mahesh will get stored. I'll write here one more. 𝕷𝖊𝖆𝖆𝖗𝖌, 30 years. Become send request. So it's getting created. You try storing 3-4 records. Then we'll open the Mongo Compass and we'll see whether really our data gone to the database or not. After saving, we'll open the Mongo Compass and we'll see our data gone to database or not. Okay, so hope you have stored 3-4 records. Now let us open the Mongo Compass. MongoDB Compass, you search and open it. We can connect it. Go to your shopping database. You will find 2 tables, product and my users. My users, we have added some record today. It will be showing here. Ganesh, 𝕷𝖊𝖆𝖆𝖗𝖏 something. My users. Check once the data is stored or not. Data is stored for one person. Other also should check. Your data should be there. We have tested as of now directly from the. We have tested the data. You can see here. Now click on this table. Right side table option is there. No? Click on that. Education string data type. Mobile double because big number we are given. Age string. Full name string, and this is auto generated ID. Auto generated ID. Again we will go to the our REST API, and from there we can try to fetch the data and understand whether it is fetching or not. Okay, so let us go now next to the your again file. And we have created here one API, this one, get. Get meaning is what? Fetching all the data from database. Get meaning is fetching all the data from database. Okay. Post meaning is what? Storing the data inside the database. Correct? So now save is happening. We need to fetch whichever the data we have stored, we need to fetch it and see whether we are able to fetch that record or not. Okay. Right now, so come down. How to fetch the record? You have to come inside this function. First write call. This line will go to the next line. You will write here all user const all user equal to my user. My user is nothing but this constant name that is representing to your model. Okay. So my user dot find, the function called find. With the help of find function, we can fetch all the record. This is for what purpose? To fetch all records from table. To fetch all records from table, we use the find function. After that, we have to write below the result dot status dot JSON. Inside, you can pass now directly all user. So what is doing? Convert into JSON and send to user. Array to JSON. We'll write here array to JSON and convert array to JSON and send to user. Send to client. Okay, request dot send status 200 dot JSON all user. Here you have to write call async. Async is required everywhere, as well as before my user, we need to apply await. await. Okay, async and await. Then whenever we call this function, it will give the list of users. Whenever we call this function, it will give the list of users. Whenever we call this one, it will create a new user. So to call this, we have to just call the URL. After that, it will give us the list of records. Right, save it, then we'll test. Let's come down. I will share this function in chat. We will go to the REST client and we'll test whether this API is working or not. Again, we'll come to the REST client here, and in the first URL you can see send request. Just click here. It will give you a list of users. Ganesh, Mahesh, Ravi, all details will come in the right side. You can see if you click on the first one, send request, it will send and it will give you a list of all the data in the form of array. Please check that a response is coming or not. After writing this, you will go to the router.rest, click on send request, it will show you the list of records in the right hand side. Okay, record is listed. Okay, very good. Now based on ID we need to find out a particular record. So one URL is giving list of record, another URL is helping us to save the record. We will create one more URL that will help us to give the details of one user based on ID. Okay, so go to your REST API and copy this function, user API, copy the first function, come down, paste here. Okay, now router.get :id. Like we are going to send the one particular user ID, and based on that particular ID we will fetch the details from database and display to user. Okay, so here async and await both is required, request response both will be there, but first we have to find out a particular user ID that is sent by client. So we can write here const user ID equal to request.body.id, request.body.id, request.not-body.id, because we will be sending through the URL. So we will write here request.params.id, PARAMS, request.params.id. Okay, so because this URL, you are going to send the input via URL. So when the value will come via URL, we have to use the params as a parameter. When the value will come in post method, then we have to receive using the body, request.body.particular. But this is not coming in the body, it's coming in the URL, user ID. So we receive the user ID. After that, we will write here variable name will change now, called user info equal to await my user dot find by ID, my user dot find by ID, and inside that you have to pass the user ID, find by ID. So fetch one user details, fetch one user details, fetch one user details, fetch one user details. Is one user details. Then after that, that particular user details we need to send to the client in the form of JSON. We can write a if condition also here. Saying like it may be that you will send a wrong ID and the ID is not exist. Then what will happen? If user info double equal to null, means whatever the ID you have given, based on that there is no any record. Then we will write here response.status 200 only, response.status 200 only, correct? But we will write in the form of JSON called message no records, else we can write here result.status.json user info. It is going to find a user details based on ID. If the ID is exist in database, then it will give the details of the user. If ID is not exist, it will say no records in the form of JSON. It will say no records in the form of JSON. Okay, so ready? Now let us see how to test this, how to get the details of the particular user. So we can go, I'm sharing the code in the chat. come to the next again. Router.rest API. We will write here again this one. Enter 3 times. Give hash. Again enter. Call this one. Where we will pass ID. We will pass the ID of any book. My user slash. We need to copy one ID and add here. Okay, so I'll guide you how to copy. So first to add this much in my user. So first let's send a request from this one because we need ID to add here, then only it will come now. So send a request. You will get multiple ID here. ID first ID, second ID, third ID. So first to send a request from here, this records will come. Copy one ID and paste here. Copy any one ID from here and paste here. My user slash ID. Okay. Paste here. First to click on this, list will come, copy one ID, paste here. After that, you close it and send a request from here. You will see one user details will come. One user details will come here. Right? Click on send request. One user details is coming the right side. If I change the ID here if I do any changes and click on send, I will get no records. See here, no records. If I give here call 3 and send request, no records. If I write here call 4 and send, no records. If I write here call 5 and send, still it is saying no records because this is not matching. Whatever I am trying to send, it is not exist there. I send 1, I will get a response here in the right side. See that? So based on ID, the response is coming in the right side. Hope getting everyone. Based on ID, you are able to get the details. This is called REST API. Okay. Next, this API what we have created, this URL what we are calling from the REST client, this URL we have to call from the Angular React side. This URL we should be able to call from the React. Okay. Then we can get the actual result of how the front end and back end communication happens. Clear? So let's move ahead. So next we need to work on one more API similar structure. Okay, one more API similar structure work first. This data we will communicate from the front end. Whatever we have made here, this data we need to send to the front end like React, and after that we can see the URL you have written here. No, this URL, the get URL you can open directly in the browser also, but only get URL we can open in browser as well as last one. Post you cannot open directly in the browser. So copy this first one and open in browser and see, are you able to see the records? Something like this. 4 user records. In that, now you copy any one ID from here, copy any one ID and my user slash put that ID. My user slash put that ID. My user slash put any one ID that's from here. So this ID I copy and added here, and if I enter my user slash one ID, it will give me only one user details. It will give me only one user details. When we call with ID, then it will give only one user details. When we call without ID, it will give all user details. You can see here. With ID, one user details. Without ID, all user details. Okay, so hope you tested. Next, suppose if you want to delete the record, then what to do? Right? If you want to delete any record, then what to do? Very simple. Okay, let us try that also. How to delete? Let's come to your again API, user API. Right in the last one. For delete purpose, let me identify that. I guess book API. If complicated code, then we will see how delete is happening. Simple. Find by ID, delete one. Okay. Find by ID, same, and then delete one. It will remove one particular. Okay. Come to your file here, and request.body.id. Okay. Through post method I have sent, no problem. So again, right below another API, how to delete a record. For that, you will copy this everything. Get part you will copy and paste here. And instead of get, you will change to delete. Modify that. Do the delete. Hit and delete. Come down. So request.forums.id will be same. Then after that, next we have to write what is written here. Find by ID. Okay, perfect. Find by ID remains same. So here const book info will be same. Next after that, if null, then no records. Else user info dot delete one. User info dot delete one. And then response dot status 200. Similar way, record deleted successfully. Record deleted successfully. Like this. So this happened to delete a record. See, till here everything is same, till here same. Only at the else part we added this line. Only in the else part we added this line and we modify this one. So based on ID, it will find if it is there, then delete. It will try to find if it exists, then delete. Then we'll see how to delete that. Complete this portion. This code is available in your chat. Now come to the rest file again. We will do the same thing. 3 times enter as enter, and then add this line. Method will be delete. Okay, written. ID, let it be same ID. Now come to the again send a request. First you send the request from here, it will give the details. There. Try sending the request, the delete. Send request for delete. You will find that particular record deleted successfully. Then again you can check from here, from the first send the request, you will find no records. Because record you deleted, how you will get the new record? We can send here. Tell me. Wait for 2 minutes, I'll come. Delete is happening. Check once. Let me know yes, no. So one API is going to help you to list the record. You can now click on send request for the listing. The only 2 records will come. Third is deleted, so third will not come now. Here, third is deleted. Second one will add a new user. If I send the request and fetch the request, 𝕷𝖊𝖆𝖵𝖃 will be 2 times. Third one will give the details of particular. So overall, list is happening, save is happening. You are able to fetch the details of particular one. You are able to delete the details of a particular one. Right? Saving, listing, fetching the details as well as delete. Now this functionality we will integrate with the front end, that is your React. This functionality we will integrate with the front end, that is your React. Okay. So that we will do on the next week, next Saturday. Next Saturday we will be working on React to API, saving the data, listing the data, deleting the data, and viewing the details of a particular one. So this test happens based on REST client. Okay. Now it has to communicate with the front end. Video I'll upload today and a study video. You can have a look. Join next Saturday compulsory. It's very helpful for you. If you are not joining, then it will be a problem. It will be difficult to understand. So compulsory join and attend the next 3-4 classes. Will be very important to understand end-to-end flow.